Welcome to Overlooked Pearls, a show where I test out strange ideas nobody spends their time thinking about. Today's topic, Yorick Support. Now, before y'all call me crazy for trying this shit out, hear me out, fellas. Hear me out. I'm guessing a lot of you are probably thinking right now, why would anyone in their right mind play Yorick Support? What benefits do you even get? Please report FF15. I don't blame you, all my friends told me the same thing. However, there are some surprising benefits available from playing Yorick Support, as insane as it sounds. Alright, y'all still with me? Good. Because before we can talk about the benefits, we're gonna have to talk about the problems Yorick Support has in the bot lane. The first obvious problem with Yorick is his lack of hard CC. He's got no stun, no root, no nothing. The only CC in his kit is his cage and the slow on his E, which means fuck all against anyone with a dash. With Yorick, death is officially the greatest form of CC. This also means Yorick's only form of engage is running it down bot like an animal, which I probably am for playing Yorick Support. Yorick also has no block, heal, shielding, or any supporting skills of any kind, so you can forget about saving your ADC as Yorick if they miss position. Another problem Yorick faces is his lack of ghouls. Normally you get constant ghouls due to CS, but supports cannot kill minions, making Yorick stay at a low rate of ghouls. And those are the two main problems with Yorick Support. So how do we solve these problems? First, let's address the ghouls shortage problem. The ghouls problem can be mitigated with steel shoulder guards. Use Q every time you go for a minion to create a grave because you won't have any other opportunities. The rate at which you get ghouls is slower than top lane, and most of the time you'll get 3 at max. But it actually comes at a decent rate as long as you manage steel shoulder guards properly, and a grave spawns with 14 minion deaths, giving you a free ghoul occasionally. But thankfully, most of the time, 3 ghouls are plenty enough to poke the enemy with. Now the other problem. How does Yorick make up for his lack of support abilities and CC? He makes up for it by providing one very important thing: lane pressure. For starters, your tower taking ability remains the same. Top or support, Yorick will take your tower one way or another, and unlike top lane, he's got an ADC as a partner to help him break towers. Leave these two alone in bot lane for a minute and they'll take half your tower. Secondly, Yorick Support, nobody knows what it is. No one knows how to fight you. I cannot remember the last time I met an enemy Yorick in the top lane. Chances of meeting a Yorick in bot lane are even lower. It might sound like a cheap advantage, but hey, whatever works, works. Thirdly, Yorick is a bruiser, so just like set support, any brawl happening near bot lane is an immediate fiesta for you. Fiestas mean more assists, and more assists means more cash and XP, more moolah means more items, and items means towers die. You see where I'm going with this? He is also very good at tanking and DPSing on Dragon. His ghouls can shred large monsters very quickly. And lastly, itemization. All Yorick needs is Sheen and boots and he's good to go. A pretty cheap price to power spike as a support if you ask me. So now that we've discussed how to fix his weaknesses and his benefits, let's talk runes. There are 2 rune pages I recommend. First is Fleet Footwork against poke and mobile bot laners. It gives you the sustain and mobility to gap close and kill them. Follow up with Presence of Mind for mana sustain, Legend Alacrity for attack speed, and Coup de Grace to help your ghouls eat people. For secondaries, take Demolish and Revitalize to enhance tower taking experience and regen from poke. For adaptive runes, take attack speed and whatever fits the situation. The other recommended tree is Conqueror. This is more of a brawler style build, so it's best played into melee supports or in mobile bot lanes. Once again, follow up with Presence of Mind, Legend Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. You can opt to switch the last 2 around, but Presence of Mind is kinda needed to maintain mana in lane. For secondaries, take Demolish and Overgrowth, attack speed, and whatever you need for your adaptives. There are 2 main stats to focus on for items: AD and HP. If ahead, focus more on AD components and items and go for a more AD heavy build. If behind, then build health. Focus on HP components and build tank items. Since you're support, buy steel shoulder guards. This will let you create ghouls without stealing CS. Next, build Divine Sunderer. This will be your go-to mythic option. It spanks hard, it heals hard, and it smashes towers. You will build this 90% of the time. Buy Executioners for anti-heal if needed, otherwise rush Deadmans for mobility and armor, then Wit's End for MR. Finish Chempunk Chainsword when able. Steric's Gauge is also a good option. If the game goes on long enough, then build Warding Wardstone as a final item. But in times of inting and desperation, tank Yorick is always an option when behind. Build Frostfire Gauntlet to remain useful in teamfights. Deadmans for armor, Force of Nature for MR, Chempunk Chainsword or Thornmail for anti-heal, Titanic Hydra for more HP and damage. Finish off with Warding Wardstone. As always, be flexible and build what feels best for the situation. Now that we've laid out the roadmap to insanity, it's time to figure out how to drive there. For the early game, take Q first. You want to start stacking up minions whenever you can. Focus on using your Q to execute minions with steel shoulder guards. Toss E on the enemy when you have 3 graves for poke. When the enemy mispositions or become low from your poke, toss E onto them and trap them inside your W cage. This will either get you a successful kill or burn the enemy's flash. If the enemy has a dash like Caitlyn, try to bait it out with a fake E engage. This will make sure she can't dash out of your cage. Use your E and W defensively as well. Your E slows people down for a decent amount and tosses ghouls at them, which is an excellent distraction as well as giving you a chance to block skill shots with ghouls. W cage is terrain only your team can pass, so use it to prevent them from running you down. Once you hit level 6, the game changes. Maiden turns bot lane from a 2v2 lane into a 3v2 lane. If anyone gets hit by E and cage, it's a death sentence. Start playing aggressive. Remove the enemy bot lane by any means necessary. Once you get access to tower, you win. For mid game, the plan varies based on whether you've taken tower or not. If you have taken bot tower, roam to mid with Maiden to help take mid tower. If bot tower is still standing, knock it down. Send your ghouls down lanes to push them and roam around with Maiden to help your team. Try and keep your Maiden alive for teamfights. By now, Divine Sunderer should be built, or all of its components are finished at least. Your Q smacks are now pretty hefty, and you should be able to survive 2v2s comfortably. A trick with Divine Sunderer and Yorick is to throw E onto someone, run up, auto them with Sunderer buff, then Q smack them with Sunderer buff again. This combo should chunk the enemy squishies, assuming they're not fed. At late game, you should be decently built. You will probably win every duel against the enemy support and squishies once you get in range. Teamfight for objectives, split push with your Yorick powers, try your best to kill anything approaching your ADC. Standard Yorick stuff, nothing much to say here. And that's it for game strategy, fellas. Let's do a quick recap of Yorick Support's strengths and weaknesses. 1. Yorick smashes towers. Support or not, Yorick takes towers because that's what Yorick does. This time, you have an ADC helping you. 2. Yorick has inbuilt pushing powers. Yorick can easily push a lane by just sending his ghouls. You can auto push with ghouls before backing, counter enemy pushes with ghouls, and take 3 to 4 extra tower shots per push. 3. Yorick is a bruiser. Bruisers are good at beating people up, is their entire class design. Yorick, being a bruiser, even on support, is still good at beating people up. A 2v2 is technically a small brawl, and Dragon Pit fights are also 3v3 brawls, allowing Yorick to benefit from his brawling strengths. Now for his weaknesses. 1. He has no enchanter support skills. He cannot heal, he cannot shield, and he cannot buff. If someone jumps on you as an ADC, the only thing Yorick can ever hope to do is to kill them before they kill you. 2. No CC. Death is, indeed, the greatest form of CC for Yorick. Don't even think about stunning anyone because you don't have anything to do it with. 3. Can steal CS. No matter how careful you play, Yorick cannot control his ghouls, so you will steal some minions every now and then, but it gets real bad when you start pushing lanes with Maiden, because Maiden will take the entire wave by herself. On paper, this all seems really pointless. Too much effort for minimal gain. When I first started this, I also thought how pointless this was. But surprisingly, it started working so much better than I thought it would, to the point where you have this video. Yorick Support is really fun. It is hilarious to throw your ghouls onto someone and see them run away slowly in fear of your kids and your shovel. Am I saying this will be the new busted meta? No, absolutely not. But am I saying this is a fun, viable, and not a complete throw pick? Yes, I am. It is really one of these things where you have to try it out to understand. As bad as it sounds, I encourage you to try out Yorick Support. That's it for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and consider subscribing if you'd like to watch more. I'll catch you guys later. Good night and sweet dreams. Memecat, signing off.
Yeah,
Pistachio counting on